seasons change, so do businesses. And sometimes your business is seasonal based upon the availability of clients or potential customers. And one of the things that I would like to talk to you about today is being really wise in your marketing, not just in your marketing on how you're marketing, but on who you're marketing to at what time in the season. Good morning, leaders. I hope you're doing amazing, and I'm excited to talk to you today about today's leadership tip. And this last week, I actually took my daughter to college and got her started. My oldest daughter and my last one going to college, actually, because the other ones are off in the world doing other things. But as seasons change, so do businesses. And sometimes your business is seasonal based upon the availability of clients or potential customers. And one of the things that I would like to talk to you about today is being really wise in your marketing, not just in your marketing on how you're marketing, but on who you're marketing to at what time in the season. So some of you might be dealing with a situation right now where you've had a really great summer because that's when all your patients or your clients were available. And now, because everybody's going back to school or getting back in their busy life, things kind of drop down. And I hear that a lot. Or it might not even just be the end of summer. It could be another time during the year that you would, oh yeah, every year, that month, it drops down. For example, in the consulting world, a lot of times July, consulting and speaking world, a lot of times July is a really low month because it seems like that's when everybody goes on vacation. Or December, you have a shorter month there. So what I'd like to talk to you about is being really selective on your marketing in specific areas. If you know that you're going to have a low month just historically, then it's important to start planning ahead of time, 3, 4, 5 months ahead of time for that dip so that it no longer becomes a dip. Let me give an example. If you're in the orthodontic world, one of the things that we see a lot is doctors who say, hey, Dino, we had a great June, July, and August, and by the middle of August, it kind of drops down. By September, it totally drops down, and we have really big months, and then we drop down in our months in September. In my brain, if I know that, then I want to find out what very specialty areas I can market to during those months that I know are going to be dipped that aren't going to be affected by my normal clientele. I've made this suggestion to a couple of my clients so far, but for example, in the ortho world, again, if you know that the majority of your kids are going to be going back to school, then tap into markets like the homeschool market. The homeschool market doesn't deal as much with the seasons as traditional school does. So if I had an office and I knew September was always going to be a little bit of a lull after this big, huge buildup, I would make sure that at the beginning of the summer, I do specialty marketing to the homeschool co-ops that are in your area, and there's plenty of them in every single area of this nation. You're going to give, whether it be a certain tours or stuff, that's fine, but maybe a certain discount, or maybe even letting them know, hey, avoid the rush during summer, and September is our homeschool month where we treat mostly homeschool kids. So if your child is homeschooled, we would love to schedule an appointment with them. If you don't want to do homeschooling, go to mothers. Hey mom, now that little Junior and little Sally are in school, make sure you book your appointment. But this can't be something that's a nice idea. This needs to be an intentional marketing purpose at the beginning of the month, whatever it might be. What we want to do is we want to fill your coffers ahead of time. Let them know, give them some incentive on why they would set an appointment now for the end of summer or 2 months from now. Or maybe your month is February. I don't know, whatever it is, make sure that you are looking at that ahead of time and going, oh, you know what? We can really tackle this month. You can start having themed months where every month you're focusing on a different theme, and on your marketing calendar that you set out for the 12 months, because hopefully you are setting up a 12-month marketing calendar, that you're able to look ahead and say, hey, what do we need to do now to prepare for that thing that's happening in 6 months? So you can know and predict what your business is going to look like. If you look at the major companies that are out there, they are marketing their calendars, their time months in advance, sometimes years in advance, knowing what's going to launch, what they're going to be doing, and they time it for the seasons where they know, or traditionally in that market or in that industry, it might be a little lower, or they want to build it up. You'll look at people who do Christmas in July, and I think it was it Amazon or Target who just did I know Amazon does its Prime Day, right? But there's another one that did something in July. It was a Christmas in July moment where it was like, yep, every Christmas or every July we create this Christmas in July moment so that we can push sales there. So we're not just waiting until Black Friday or Christmas to really knock it out of the park. So I would highly recommend you start brainstorming with your teams about the different types of emphasis you can put on different months so you can know what your sales are going to be like. Hey, maybe you want to take a month off in November. Great, then make sure you don't put a whole bunch of marketing in there. And most of you are basing your year off of what historically has happened instead of looking at, hey, if history is telling us something, then what can we do to promote or to create something different during that month? You want to make sure that you're taking the time to focus on your marketing and advertising for very specific areas of your market so that you don't have a lull, or you control that lull. You control the up and down. I've mentioned to a few of you, there's actually a company in Vegas, in Las Vegas, who they've done this very thing. And their low month, what they did is they focused on senior citizens. It's a dental company, it's a dentistry company. And they focus on senior citizens. And that month now is busier than their normal months because all the senior citizens in the area, they focus on only talking to them and giving them special discounts or special offers or whatever it might be. And knowing that it's only this month is for senior citizens. And of course, they're going to take other patients as well, right? But their focus is senior citizens. And now that month is higher and busier, higher on the income, busier than most of their other months. So it's a way to really tip the odds in your favor. So I hope that helps you. I hope it gives you something to think about. I say talk to your core team, talk to your management team, talk to your marketing team about what can we do. You have history. Use the stats you have to prove that we need to put focus on this area. As you guys all know, the reason why I like to set goals and the reason why I give you your big, hairy, scary goals is to find out not just how awesome you are, which that's a given, right? But also to find out where all the weaknesses are. Where those weaknesses are when you're talking about your operations in your business, the systems that you have, what are the weak ones that we need to improve upon? And this would be one of them. All right. Hope you have an amazing week. I will talk to you next time.